This is huge. President Donald Trump is hardening his demands for a deal to protect young undocumented immigrants from deportation, a dispute with congressional Democrats that hangs over talks this week to avoid a government shutdown. Bloomberg reports. President Trump hammers down on DACA and the Democratic Party over the wall along the Mexico border with the United States. President Trump is forbidding immigrants from sponsoring family members from joining them in the United States, as well as ending a program that provides visas to immigrants from countries with low rates of migration into the United States. The final kick to the Democratic Party over the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program is that they also must put money into the funding of the wall. Democratic leaders have been pushing for a global agreement on spending caps on immigration and disaster relief programs, as well as electronic surveillance and children's health care programs. The Democratic leaders have been getting immense pressure from the Latinos in America to force spending legislation to protect the young immigrants brought into the United States. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are the main force supporting the push by the Latinos, and they plan to bring DACA and the financial budget in support of DACA and immigrants, in an effort to force President Trump's hand over the finances of the Mexico border wall. Budget Director Mick Mulvaney and Legislative Director Mark Short will meet with both parties on Wednesday to cover fiscal spending for 2018. The Republican leaders fired back at the Democratic leaders, saying that the meeting will only cover spending caps of domestic and defense spending. At any point should the Democratic leaders bring up DACA and immigration, it will be considered a distraction and not be discussed. Steve Scalise, Louisiana Republican, said that there is potential that both sides can come to an agreement, in hopes of avoiding a government shutdown. Bloomberg reported. "I think there is an agreement that can be reached," he said in an interview with Fox News on Tuesday. "It's got to start with border security, though, and putting money in place to start building the wall," as President Trump said. He campaigned on this and he won the presidency with this being a front and center issue. President Trump used Twitter to send his message out to the world, concerning the wall and DACA programs. The Democrats have been told, and fully understand, that there can be no DACA without the desperately needed wall at the southern border and an end to the horrible chain migration and ridiculous lottery system of immigration, etc. "We must protect our country at all costs." On Tuesday he added, "Democrats are doing nothing for DACA, just interested in politics." With heavy and intense opposition over the wall and immigration, President Trump continues to push ever forward in not allowing the Democrats and minorities to dictate to the United States what is allowed when it comes to the protection of our borders.